I were Ellen Mackenzie, I think at this point I would have lost track of the number of family members that I wanted to shiv, but we have gotten a new episode of Blood of My Lead, so it is time for our weekly debrief. I feel like the theme for me this week is how long are we willing to hold on to hope? Whether it's the characters or it's me watching, because there are those moments where you're like, what is the next step we're about to take? Of course, when everybody starts leaving the house and we're kind of out and about, there's that tiny sliver of you that's like, it's going to be time. They're going to get a glimpse of each other. Something's going to happen. And of course, none of those things occurred. But I definitely had that sense of nervousness when she found the plant and she brought it inside. I thought, okay, well, she kind of decided that she can no longer do this. Like, what are we getting from this? And of course, she has protected herself. Mentally, I'm doing the math on who I think this sibling could be if we end up down this path that we assume that this is suddenly a Fraser sibling, but then we've never really heard of anybody else that I can think of. I do think I will tire of how women are being controlled and how long we can stay in that reality. It's something that I didn't love to endure in season 1 of Outlander, and I think that we're going to reach a point where I'm no longer going to be interested in it, but I am quite intrigued in the ways in which we're kind of cracking open the door to conversations about intimacy, specifically with Claire's parents. Talked about this before in other content, but there's sometimes a tendency to make women the emotional parents of their partners, and I don't feel like we're getting that experience. I think that we're seeing the emotional side of this as a true part of their partnership versus her having to be the parent and to kind of educate him, because they're walking through this together, they're building this together. It's not as though she's having to educate him on how to feel. They're learning how to navigate this new territory that's unexpected for them completely together. It does make me kind of sad for Claire because I feel like they would have been such great parents. I do think if we weren't doing weekly chats about the show, this would be one that I would prefer to binge watch because I think it just feels like more is actually happening when you have a couple of episodes to kind of dive into. That was really how I operated with the first like 6 seasons of Outlander, and I could see that being something that I would want to come back to with this show. We're only 4 episodes in, we've got 6 more to go, and I will be interested to see how Ellen gets away from her family, what happens if Julia and Henry are reunited in this time, and just what the possibilities are that we're not seeing, because right now there's some characters that I have to say I don't actually care about. I care about how they impact everybody else, and I'm curious to see how they make me like them or if they give me an opportunity to like them. I didn't love Colin in Outlander, and I don't necessarily feel like I'm going to have a lot of empathy for him when it comes to this show, so there's kind of that fine balance of things. If I were Ellen, I would not trust me with a weapon.